Is Pham okay, or did you just want to get another lefty?
The whole idea when we started was to DH yesterday and may play tomorrow. Trying to give that, make sure with the off day looming Monday, I'd like to see if we can get a 100% guy by Tuesday. He's close, but you know, there were a couple of ground balls last night that he was being protective of it. He's not having any discomfort. It's just about healed all the way. I want to be careful. I will use him tonight. It also helps our bench, which has been so left-handed against left-handed starters. It helps us over there a little bit. Marte was in the original lineup. He came in sick today, and I don't know if y'all got both of them.
We only got the new one. Only the one.
Yeah, he's. Yeah, I don't want to get in too much detail. It's just nothing. He's sick, and he was throwing up, and don't think he's going to be able to start the game. We'll see if he gets better as the day progresses about being available or not.
And on a completely different note, do you treat the first 2 or 3 games? I mean, obviously the game dictates, but do you treat the first 2 or 3 games out of the All-Star break the way you do the beginning of the season, with sort of a mandate to get your bullpen sort of straightened out?
I've said it before, is the 2 tougher times for, I think, a manager in general is getting your bullpen off when the season starts. You know, the game doesn't always cooperate. You're really trying to get relief pitchers off to a good start. And by work, and anybody that's watched how bullpen pitchers work, if they have a couple bad outings early in the year, they spend 2 months trying to get what goes on the board down, and it's tough. You know, you have a couple bad outings, you give up 2 or 3 runs, and you know you're looking up at that and so it's kind of the same way after the break. You know, like we're going to have to get some people in there, regardless of the game situation today or tomorrow, especially for the off day. But I think everybody that's managed tells you it's important to get, you know, when the guys have had 7 or 8, 9 days, like, you know, they had Sunday off, so they had 5. They got some guys down there with 9 days off, and certainly some days help, but not that many. Then you start going the other direction.
What did you think of Senga's decision not to pitch in the All-Star game so he could be ready for the second half?
Has he said that publicly? I mean, or they just didn't use him?
He said that in Seattle.
We were supportive of anything he chose to do. You know, we didn't obviously try to sway one way or the other. And you know, I'm a little selfish when it comes to, you know, what's best is for us was for him to pitch Saturday. I think, you know, listening to Hero, his interpreter talking, and Senga through him, is that, you know, he's a very regimented, structured, and he had everything planned out to a T before about how his off days were going to work, preparing for Saturday. And I think he was, the way I took it, was that he was not comfortable with getting out of sequence and out of structure as much as he would have had to. That's what drove it the most, I think. And he had kind of locked into pitching on Saturday with the proper rest and the work days in between, and pattern each day of what he's going to do leading up to that start. So, you know, it's one of those things that you realize that that's a little bigger than, and if he wanted to pitch in it, I know what it would have meant to him and his country and just baseball in general, but I thought it was a great honor for him to be asked to go there.
And are we getting to the point here where you think he might not necessarily need the extra day between starts, or is that?
I think we've done it, twice?
I thought once.
Maybe, I think it was twice.
Okay.
But one was, I don't know if you can base whether it's good or bad just by results, but, you know, what else do you have to go by? You know, the second one was a little better. But I wouldn't preclude it, of it not happening again. But, you know, we'll see how the weather and off days fall. We're trying to get too far ahead of us. But he's done well the way we've used him, and I don't know if you want to rattle that a lot, but certainly as the games dwindle, we'd probably be more inclined to. But he's handled himself real well physically this year from a health standpoint. So the part of me wants to continue down the path we followed.
What is the state of Edwin Diaz's rehab?
It's one of those things, Tim, I try not to go by how you feel today. How about compared to yesterday? How about tomorrow? How are you going to feel it? You know, I can tell you one thing, he's doing a lot of things he wasn't doing. That falls underneath the no, you know what. So, I saw him down the hall today. In fact, he was squatting down with Marte when Marte was sick down the hall. And I don't remember him squatting. As much as I was worried about Starling, I also kind of caught my eye that he's squatting. So I'm sorry, I do look at it, but I don't question him all the time about it. He's doing well, and he's meeting every benchmark. And what that means, he'll let me know.
To what extent is his rehab independent of the team's success? For example, if you guys are in it or not in it down the stretch, how does that influence whether or not you might push
Well,
it or not?
I don't want to speak for how someone may feel differently, but when the medical people and the rehab people say this is the next step to pitch in the game, he'll pitch in the game. We're not going to push it forward or pull it back. You know, I think it'll all be medically based, but that hasn't been broached yet. Hasn't been a conversation. We're not there yet.